siya eh. Hindi ko nagawa eh. O baka dahil sa suot ko. Putik, true.
Yung totoo, may nag-testing.
Ako, tines ko.
Sinubukan nyo?
Ba't hindi ko kaya?
Actually, the answer is true. 1 in 100 in the world, siguro 10% of the population can lick their own elbows.
1% lang. 1/100. Oo, konti lang. So, hindi ako kasama doon. Kasama ako sa 99 na hindi walang kakayahan. So, sino yung mga nakataba? Check, taga lang Check.
Yan. Most points tayo
False ang sagot nila eh. Ang may true dito si Eileen, Sacramento.
Alright.
Followed by Jillian. Josh, assist mo na lang kami So,
Sure.
Eileen and Jillian, may points na sila. So, next question.
Okay, next question.
Ako naman ang babasa.
Okay.
A fully grown human body has 206 bones. A newborn baby has more than 300 bones. Where in our body can we find more than half of our bones? Letter A, ribs. B, hands and feet. C, face. Wala akong knowledge dito.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Siguro sa ribs. Nang hula eh. Pero pwedeng hands and feet nga, no? Kasi ano yan eh. Yung motion niya marami, di ba? So marami ring bones na related. Tama ba?
Intelligent ka.
Antayin na lang natin yung sagot, Joms.
May analysis, di ba? Oh, di ba? Tama ko, di ba? Hands and feet kasi tingnan mo
Oh.
Gaganon siya, babali. Ilang bones na yan, di ba? Imagine. May trivia ka ba kung ilan yan?
Sabi dito, 27 bones in each hand and 26 in each foot. So this skeletal structures are most complex, amounting to 106 bones. Oh, di ba?
106. Nice. So may mga tumama ba, Josh?
Yes, Ate Michelle, tsaka si Shenalyn.
Nice.
I-count ba natin lahat ng pagtama or yung mga nauna lang?
Hindi. Partaasan ng points to eh. So lahat may points. Okay. Nanatali mo na, Master Josh? Okay, let's proceed to next question.
Next question. Ako naman. True or false? If you are tired, exercise will help. 5.
Magko-comment ulit ako, no? In my own point of view, pwede. Oo, nare-relieve niya yung stress at pagod. Pero hindi ko alam kung ano yung tired na tinutukoy doon eh. Let's see. True or false? Ano kaya ang sagot nila?
Tapos na. Next.
Ang sagot ko, true.
You're right. So, if you're physically
diba?
tired, the best thing to do is exercise. Sabi. Kasi, studies have found that blood and oxygen flow through the body will give you more energy and improve your mood. Tapos,
diba?
Endorphin levels para medyo maging happy ka tsaka yung
yung endorphin para sa happiness yun, di ba? Ako ginagawa ko yan. Actually, nakakatulong talaga.
Kasi siguro mas okay yung mood mo kapag medyo after ng exercise.
Oo.
Okay.
Exactly. So, may mga tumama pa rin naman.
Sige, next question tayo, Jones.
Alright, next question. True or false ulit, as a normal human being, you can tickle yourself. Ito lagi ko tong sinusubukan eh. Depende siguro sa tao to.
Ewan ko lang kung itatry din nila,
Pasayahin mo yung sarili mo eh.
Oo.
Pero siguro.
Hindi ako happy today, so medyo kalitin yung sarili mo.
Oo. Ano kaya ang sagot? Ako ang sagot, kasi ako hindi ko nakita tong game na to. Ang sagot ko, false.
Sige,
diba? May pag-ganun pa, di ba? Nanguhula lang naman.
Tama
false.
False. Generally, yes. No, you can't tickle yourself because your brain is already expecting the sensation. Pero may exception. Kapag schizophrenic ka.
Okay. May ganun. So, dito ang sagot false.
Yes.
Feeling ko maraming tumama. Kasi sinubukan nilang lahat eh. Ayan, false sila lahat.
Anong ibig sabihin ng schizophrenic?
Yung mga dual personality, madam.
Ay, ganun?
So, kasi, kaya ni Jomar.
Ay, hindi. 7 personalities ako eh.
Ay, ganun ba?
Oo. So yung iba nag-expect na ng sensation pag ano. May
Oo.
ganun, di ba? Next question na. Josh, ikaw na bahala sa pointing system. Take note, galingan nyo guys. E-book ang ibibigay natin dito. Knowledge is power. Pero syempre, dapat i-apply. Next, this mineral helps keep your bones strong. Letter A, vitamin D. B, cholesterol. C, calcium. Ito, sobrang dali na ito. Cholesterol?
Ayan ka eh.
Sabay may nalito, no? Baka may nag-letter B. Tingnan
Baka
natin.
nag-letter B sila. Ayan. This is the answer. Joms?
Ayan, so letter C lahat. Ang sagot is calcium. Calcium is a mineral that helps keep our bones strong, while vitamin D helps absorb calcium in the bones.
Oh, kasi medyo
So, yan.
nakakalito eh, di ba? Vitamin D or calcium.
Hindi ako nalito kasi hindi ko alam yung vitamin D eh. Pero yung calcium alam ko. So tama pa rin naman yung nasa isip ko. Diba?
Sige. So far, sinong leading natin, Joshi?
Nagtatali pa ako sa chat.
Okay, sige.
Ang hirap pag lahat tama eh.
Ay,
Pag lahat tama, huwag mo
Yes.
na bilangin. Okay na yan. Okay, let's proceed.
Okay.
Next question.
ako naman. As a human being, you can lick your nose and chin.
Bah? Natawa ako sa tanong na to. Pero hindi ko siya sinubukan, syempre. Naka-on yung camera ko eh. Tsaka baka ma-amaze yung mga tao pag nakita.
Kaya mo
nila.
pala.
Mm-mm. Pero may mga false na sagot oh. May
Oo.
true rin. So nahati na. May true ulit. Sige, let's see. Ano bang sagot?
Yeah, let's see.
Anong sagot, partner?
True.
Ulit. Pwede
Yeah.
mo bang ipakita? To see is to believe daw eh.
Sabi dito, this is
10%.
called the Gorlin sign. Only 10%
Gorlin sign.
of the general population can perform this act.
Ooh, 10% lang.
Diba? May natututunan
Sino-sino
ba tayo
kaya?
so far? Nagugulat ba kayo na may ganitong trivia?
Sa mga participants ba natin, baka kasama kayo dun sa 10%. Meron
Oo.
ba? May gusto bang
Meron ba?
magpakita ng talent nila? Kahit yung ilong lang, kahit wag na yung chin. Teka lang, i-admit ko lang may napasok pang ano. Yan. Alright. Sige, let's move.
Sige, next
Next
naman.
question.
Ikaw
Ako
naman.
True or false? You're typically only breathe through one nostril at a time.
Sinubukan mo.
Sinubukan ko kagad eh. Minsan hindi mo na siya mapapansin eh. Basta humihinga ka, buhay ka pa eh. Tsaka ang daming problema kasi hindi mo na siya hindi mo na siya i-verify sa sarili mo eh.
Ang dami mong iniisip, tumadagdag pa.
Dumadagdag pa yan eh. One at a time, totoo ba?
Okay na ba? May dumadagdag pang sagot?
Oo, true ang sagot. Minsan pwede kasi pag barado yung ilong mo sa kabila, di ba? Pag may sipon ka.
Sige.
Pwede. True.
Sagot mo ay
True.
true. Sige, tingnan natin. Yes. The answer is true. Bakit daw, partner?
Your nostrils share the workload when it comes to inhaling and exhaling. You actually inhale and exhale through one nostril at a time. Every few hours, the active nostril will take a break and the may ganon, nagpapahinga yung isa. Palitan sila, nagsiswitch back. Amazing.
Saka minsan, kung mapapansin nyo, yung kabilang nose nyo may mas maraming booger, mas maraming kulangot sa isa. Kasi siya yung active na nag-feel.
Siya yung active nung time na yon.
Oo, gano'n.
Oo nga, no? Kaya pala minsan. Now I know. Kaya pala minsan nagugulat ako, ba't wala sa kabila?
Pwede
Okay.
ba?
Ang gandang trivia na ito. Gusto ko ito. May tumatama ba? Parang mahirap. Ayan, okay.
Meron
Mga
tumama
false
pero
sila,
maraming mali.
Maraming mali. Konti lang kaming tumama pala. Kayo mag-aral kayo guys. Next.
Ikaw naman, partner.
Okay. What does halitosis mean? A. Confusion. B. Hunger. C. Bad breath.
Anong
Halitosis.
hula mo?
Teka lang. Halitosis.
Pag nalilito ka, halitosis yun.
Oo nga, no.
Oh,
Confusion.
very good.
Boom. Boom. Tama yung confusion, I think.
Letter A, ano? Ready ka ba siya?
Litosis. Di ba? Kunyari, pangit. Kasama mo yung kapatid mo, di ba? Si sis. Wag na, pangit. Di nakakatawa. Halitosis siya eh. So, okay na siya. Letter A. Hindi, pero ang sagot ko, ano siya? Hunger.
Hunger.
Kasi,
Sige, tingnan
tama
natin.
yun, hunger.
Ang sagot ay?
Hirap magpanggap.
Tama
Mali pa rin
si Jones, tama ka naman. Kasi pag gutom ka, next one, mababahoy ni nga mo.
Ayun. Talagang na-connect pa yun. Ano
Okay.
mo tumama ba ulit? Let's
May
see.
tumama
Ganda
ba?
ng laro na to.
Actually, lahat sila tumama, ikaw lang mali, Jom.
Mas tama si Joshi. Panalo
Sorry.
yun.
Okay.
Panalo yun. Sige.
Sige, may next pa ba?
Oh, sige.
Ayan. True or false? Depression and anxiety can cause neck and shoulder issues. Pwede. Pag depressed ka, gumaganon ka madalas eh. Diba? Pwede. Pangit
ba?
ng paliwanag ko yun.
Hinuhula mo?
Oo, kasi nakaganon ka palagi, di ba? Depressed ka. Pwede.
Tingnan natin. The answer is yes.
Di ba? Sa
Bakit daw?
picture pa lang eh. Physical pain isn't always the result of physical injury. In fact, if you're experiencing chronic neck and shoulder pain, it could be due to something you're dealing with mentally. Oh,
Stress
trivia
pala.
to.
Stress pala, madala. Sige.
Kaya pala madalas ang sakit ng... Alright. May next pa ba?
Ito na lang, last na to. So ako na
Okay, last question.
Yes. True or false? Being an optimist can help you live longer.
Ako ang sagot ko dyan, true.
Yes. Ay, sorry, nilagay ko na.
Pero tingin ko tama naman sila lahat eh.
Sabi dito, studies have found that optimism is beneficial to your overall health. It is linked to a healthy heart and can even help ward off diseases. Siyempre, pag medyo masayahin ka, di ba? Yung outlook mo sa life. Ayan. Sabi dito, positive. Optimists often have lower blood pressure, which reduces the risk of coronary artery disease. So, ang nag-study nito is from Harvard and Boston University. So, syempre, hindi
amazing.
Pero ito yung nagiging study nila na parang kapag optimistic ka, less like you will live longer. So, this is the end of our game. Pero I hope, I am very optimistic about our discussion today. Sana makapag-add value tayo the way that trivia did for us today. Okay ba yun?
Oo. Agree, partner. Sige, check muna natin yung mga audience natin. No? Can you type letter P kung na-enjoy nyo ba yung laro natin ngayon? Ayun. May letter B. Letter P. Ulitin nyo. Nagalit eh. Letter P for Pogi. Ganon. Alright.
Paano yan? Ang gagaling ng mga audience natin ngayon kasi puro tayo yung mga scores nila. Kasi yung usual na nakakuha ng tamang sagot, sila din yung nakakuha. So,
pero may mga tanong na parang isa lang yung tumama eh. May nakita ko kanina eh. Sige, papabanggit na lang. Sino yung leading
si Joven, Shenaline, Maan Tubig, Christian Darwin, Aileen, and Jillian. Yung mga
lahat bibigyan natin sila lahat.
Ayun.
So, 6 sila. Ang generous naman ni UMP na. Thank you.
Okay.
So, contact namin kayo mamaya.
After nung webinar, saka namin isi-send yung details kung paano makukuha yung ebook. So, that's interesting. Alright. Let's proceed na, partner.
Excited na ako. Sino ba ang susunod na speaker natin? Sino ba ang unang speaker natin ngayon?
Yan. Okay. Ayan, but before that, ito yung objective ng ating Reach to Teach series part 3. Yes, you heard it right. Part 3 na to, guys. Ano yung first webinar natin, partner?
About investment vehicles.
Yes. And yung next naman doon, yung part 2 namin, ang diniscuss namin is all about educational fund. So ngayon naman, this is healthier, happier, brighter. So ang main topic natin for tonight is all about health. And these are the objectives of our webinar. So number 1, understand how health affects our finances. Number 2, know the reality of healthcare system in our country. And last, we have to identify your options in securing a good healthcare plan. So yan ang objective natin tonight, partner. All right, let's start. So, ang first speaker natin for tonight, ito, yung pinakagwapo sa team namin. Pinakagwapo yun. Ay, hindi.
Partner.
Mamaya pa ako.
Ay, oh gosh.
Pangalawa, third ka, Romer. So, pangalawa lang pala to, no? Ako pala yung first. So, yung pangalawang gwapo sa team namin is Mr. Daniel Sacramento. So, he is a certified public accountant. Definitely Sun Life Financial Advisor under our team, Abraham Lincoln. And ito, mainit-init pa. Professor siya sa TIP. So, yun siya, no? So, magaling tong bata na to. Online accounting tutor and tax and accounting practitioner siya. His advocacy is to help and teach Filipino families the importance of financial literacy, health, and income protection. So, without further ado, ibibigay ko na sa inyo Mr. Daniel Sacramento.
Ayan, thank you so much, Jom, sa sobrang ganda ng introduction mo. So, medyo nagkamali ka lang doon. Hindi ako pangalawa. Pangatlo lang ako sa team na pinakagwapo. Alam mo naman
Wow,
na, Jomar, Joshua yung arrangement natin. Saka lang ako doon.
Pala.
Oo,
Third ka pala, sorry.
Third lang ako sa list. Yun lang yung medyo naging ano doon sa introduction.
Sorry,
Pero
na-insulto.
Na-insulto ako doon eh. So, ayun guys, good evening everyone. I hope you're still okay and then may mga mapupulot tayo tonight. So my topic for tonight will be the importance of health and how we can prioritize our well-being. So how are we going to identify bakit ba talaga important yung health sa buhay natin? 'Di ba? Yung health natin kapag dumadating yung times na we are sick, meron tayong nararamdaman, lalo na sa panahon ngayon, pandemic. Dati uso yung kapag magli-leave ka sa work, ay sorry boss, mag-leave ako, may sipon kasi ako, inuubo ako. Masama yung pakiramdam ko. Pero ngayon, kaya pa ba natin gawin yon? Hindi na. Natatakot na tayo. So, hindi na tayo pwedeng mag-excuse na, masama po yung pakiramdam ko, I'm not feeling well. So, ngayon, mas lalo natin na bibigyang importance yung health natin, lalo na sa panahon ngayon. So, bakit nga ba siya importante in the first place? So, the health is the most important part of our life because ito yung starting point. Ito yung kine-consider natin as our energy. So, as you can see here in the screen, yung health daw natin, meron siyang other branches. It means, dyan nagsisimula lahat. And the main focus natin for tonight is the connection of health to our wealth or kung paano natin mas mapapalago yung finances natin. And pero, mas ihuli natin yon dahil yun yung main topic natin. I want to discuss more paano ba natin nai-apply yung health natin sa other parts ng life natin. So, simulan natin sa learning. So, we all are people na gusto natin magkaroon tayo ng continuous learning or lifelong learning. Why? Kasi gusto natin everyday nag-i-improve tayo. Pero bakit natin iniisip na bakit tayo dapat mag-improve? Because gusto natin ma-reach natin yung goals natin. And isa sa key para ma-reach natin yung goals natin is matuto everyday. New learnings everyday. So magagawa ba natin yon? Makatututo ba tayo ng new things if hindi tayo healthy? Kapag madami tayong sakit? Kapag madami tayong nararamdamang hindi maganda? The answer is no. So next, ano pa yung relationship ng health sa other parts ng life natin? Yung next natin is yung friendship. We all know, ngayon sobrang hirap na magkaroon tayo ng time with our friends, puro virtual na lang. Pero before the pandemic, isa yun sa pinang-activity na gusto natin, to spend time with our friends. Why? Most of the times, if we are stressed, feeling tired, gusto nating i-enjoy yung sahod natin. For example, ngayon, yesterday, payday yesterday. So, most of the time, gusto nating spend yung time natin with our friends para at least ma-relieve tayo, mawala yung mga pagod natin. And then, pero babalik tayo dun sa pinaka-center part of our life, which is our health. Magagawa ba natin yung mag-bonding tayo with our friends if wala tayong energy? The answer is No. So nakikita natin dito yung relationship nung health sa mga ginagawa natin. Next, work. For sure, most of you will relate to this. If ever you're a businessman, you're an employee, you're a freelancer, ramdam na ramdam natin to. So during these times, even though most of us are working from home, nisip natin we're not traveling na wala na tayong transportation, pero still, nakakaroon pa rin tayo ng fatigue, napapagod pa rin tayo, na-stress pa rin tayo. So if ever, napapabayaan natin yung health natin, marirealize natin eventually, bakit parang nagdagdiminish yung work ko? Parang hindi ako nagiging productive like before. Because na-overlook na natin yung personal health natin. So ayan, clear ba yun guys? If ever clear yung discussion natin, if nasusundan nyo pa naman, type naman tayo sa group chat natin ng letter C. Ayan. Ayan, thank you so much sa participation. Next natin, ano pa yung next part of life na naapektuhan ng health? It is our family. So most of you, for sure, the reason kung bakit din kayo umattend dito, because isa sa priorities natin sa life natin is yung family natin. Dahil alam natin na yung family natin, it also depends on us. Hindi natin nahahayaan na yung family natin mag-suffer ng dahil sa atin na hindi natin naayos yung pag-aalaga natin sa sarili natin. Kaya ganun siya ka-importante. Next, eto for sure, mas lalong madaming makaka-relate dito, yung love. Di ba hindi naman natin kayang magbigay ng love? Let's say for example sa partners natin, kapag wala tayong energy, for example, meron tayong asawa, meron tayong girlfriend or boyfriend. And there's a time, one night, magbigay tayo ng isang scenario. Kunyari si Joshua. Si Joshua, naglalambing yung misis niya. Sabi niya, baby, baka naman pwede tayong mag-bonding. Eh, isang gabi, si Joshua, wala siyang energy. Pagod na pagod siya sa work. Tapos, medyo masama pakiramdam niya. So, sa tingin niyo, ano mangyayari? Magtatampo yung wifey ni Joshi. E di, hindi nila ma-express yung love nila sa isa't isa. Kasi nga, anong nangyari? Ano yung first scenario? Anong di natin nagawa? Hindi natin naasikaso, hindi natin nabigyan ng priority yung health natin. Kasi what we are thinking is, yung health ko, yung energy ko, I am supposed to give this only sa work, sa learnings, at sa wealth. Ang dapat nating malaman, marami siyang branches na dapat binibigyan natin siya equally. And then, second to the last is charity. Daniel, ano yung charity? So this is wherein nagbibigay tayo ng charity or works na makakatulong sa ibang tao. For example, we donate, we teach other people, we help other people. So, hindi naman tayo makakatulong sa ibang tao if, in the first place, hindi natin kayang tulungan yung sarili natin. Di ba normally, if we help people, nakikita nila sa atin yung enthusiasm, the energy, the zeal to help other people. So, kaya, ayan, na-relate pa rin natin yung connection ng health sa charity. And then last, na relationship ng part of life is the wealth. Ito na yung pinakang gusto natin. Most of us, ngayon, iniisip natin, siguro marami sa atin, we know other people na they're getting by. Mas iniisip nila, paano ba ako makaka-survive? And then there are other people din naman na iniisip nila, how can they maximize the opportunity that they have para mas ma-maximize nila yung wealth nila, para mas lalo silang mag-grow. So, isipin natin, magbigay tayo ng isang example. Let's say for example, si Mark Zuckerberg, for sure. Sige nga, sino dito ang gumagamit ng Facebook? Type letter F. Ayan, para makita natin, baka mamaya hindi nyo kilala si Mark Zuckerberg. So, bakit ko siya in-example? Because we need to know na si Mark Zuckerberg, na-achieve na niya yung goal niya sa wealth. Nandun na siya established na siya. Isa na siya sa top richest, if not yet the richest person in the world. Pero, as we all know, si Mark Zuckerberg, makikita naman natin, at we all know, healthy naman siya. Hindi niya pinapabayaan yung health niya because alam niya na dapat mas nagiging priority niya yung health niya. Dahil if ever, mas mabigyan niya ng less priority yung health, magbigay siya ng mas focus. For example, binigay niya lahat sa love or binigay niya lahat sa work. Ang mangyayari, hindi niya mababalance out. Hindi niya ma-achieve yung gusto niya. So, yan yung importance ng health natin. Because in everything that we do, health is our foundation. If wala tayong good health, if meron tayong nararamdaman, hindi tayo makakapag-perform at the maximum level that we can. Ayun. Clear ba yun? Ayan. Can I see a virtual thumbs up naman kung clear yung discussion natin? Ayan. Thank you so much. So, what's next? So, again, I have a quote here. So, in relation to what I've discussed, you cannot climb higher in all the other 7 areas of your life if you do not have physical energy to devote to each of them. Diba? For sure, some of you experienced this before. Either sa work, dati nung nag-aaral, or kahit ngayon, sa bahay, or when we are prioritizing our family. Minsan, lalo na sa mga parents dito, kapag binibigay na yung time natin, masyado na naisip natin para sa children natin, gagawa tayo ng household chores, minsan napapabayaan na natin yung sarili natin. Eventually, na marirealize natin, hindi pala ako nakapagbigay ng time para sa other aspects of my life. Sige, balik tayo sa ibang example. So for me, example, ako, if I am working, nag-work ako 24 hours a day, binuhos ko lahat yung energy ko sa pag-work. Anong nangyari? Na-sacrifice yung other parts ng life ko. For example, hindi ako nakapag-dedicate ng isang time or kahit some time para mas lalong mag-improve, which is to learn. So yun yung isang effect kapag hindi natin siya nagawa. Kapag hindi natin na-balance out yung allocation ng health natin. Daniel, bakit, di ba, sabi mo sa amin, you will be discussing health tips? Yes, health tips siya. Paano natin ma-allocate yung energy natin or paano natin ma-utilize yung good health na meron tayo? Kasi for sure, marami sa atin, alam na natin paano magiging healthy. Pero ano yung hindi natin nagagawa? Wala tayong action plan. Wala tayo ng first step. Bakit? Iniisip natin, hindi, bukas ko na lang gagawin. Ano yung bukas natin gagawin? Ay, sige, bukas mag-exercise na ako. Ay, sige, bukas, yung puro healthy foods na lang yung kakainin ko. Kakain na ako everyday ng gulay, mag-fruits na ako everyday, less rice na. Kung lagi, 2 rice tayo sa every meal, lagi natin sinasabi, ay, hindi, sure na talaga, this coming September, magre-reduce na ako. Pero, hindi natin nagagawa, di ba? Why? Kasi hindi natin alam na dapat pala yung health natin na-allocate natin sa different aspects of our life. If we know that, ma-realize natin, okay, para pala ma-maximize ko yung potential ko, para mas maging wealthy ako, ma-achieve ko yung goals ko, ganito pala yung dapat kong gawin. Ayan, let's proceed. So, again, ano ba yung impact ng health natin? So as you can see here, wellness. Kasi, di ba, wellness, ano yan? Yung gusto natin, overall, we have a good standing. Good standing in what sense, Daniel? Good standing in a sense that we can perform at our peak or at our best potential. Kasi sino ba naman yung gustong mag-perform? Or sino ba naman yung gustong ma-achieve yung goals niya pero yung ibibigay niya lang effort is 50% or 30% lang dahil nalilimit tayo ng mga factors that are holding us back. Example nga nun is kapag nagkakaroon tayo ng sakit, hindi tayo healthy, hindi natin na-allocate ng maayos yung time natin. Ayun. So basically, yun yung discussion ko. I hope you have learned something tonight. And then, i-recap lang natin yung 7 parts of life that is greatly affected by our health or our energy. So, the first one is, what is the first one? Balikan natin para rin may visuals kayo. The first one is learning. Next is friendship, work, family, love, charity, and then lastly is health. Ayan. Ibabalik ko na yung floor sa mga host natin. Thank you so much, guys. I hope you learned something from me tonight.
Nice. Amazing, Daniel. Thank you so much sa shinare mo. No? So, ako partner, actually, agree ako doon sa tinuro sa atin ni Mr. Sacramento, di ba? Imagine, nasa core yung health natin eh. Affected lahat, even our relationship, financial status, yung dreams natin, and all, di ba? So, very important din talaga na inaalagaan natin yung health natin. Ikaw ba, partner, anong natutunan mo sa diniscuss ni paring Daniel tonight?
Oo, no? May realization nga talaga na health is connected in every aspect of our lives. So, nag-take notes ako, no? Pero, yun yung sinasabi kasi ni Daniel na health is energy. Source talaga siya ng energy. Pero it's something na parang disregarded. Di ba parang akala mo unlimited yung energy mo?
Oo.
Bata ka pa, parang akala mo dami mong energy. So, I realized na if this is the core, if this is the source of all the aspects of our lives, it should be something that we should take care of consistently. Di ba? Parang, yung pala, pag nawala kasi yun, lahat yun pilay. So, pinakagusto kong sinabi ni Daniel dito, hindi mo kayang magbigay ng love pag wala kang energy. Yun.
Oo. Hindi mo kayang magbigay ng love pag walang energy.
Oo.
Nice.
Yun eh.
Alam mo na, Joms, baka lately nawawalan ka lang ng energy.
Energy gap lang pala, no? So, moving forward, biglang kinat kagad din. No? Yeah. Ay, healthy na ako, ah. Yeah, let's move forward. So, ako sobrang excited din ako sa next speaker natin. No? So, partner, take it away.
Yeah, let me do the honor kasi sobrang idol ko tong tao na to. So, she is a certified public accountant. She also has a firm. She's the managing partner at MKL and Associates. Industry expert speaker siya at the Philippine Institute of Certified Public Accountants, di ba? Tapos co-chair din siya for professional development sa PICPA. Siyempre, of course, she's a licensed financial advisor in Sun Life. And she's a member of the $1 Million Roundtable. Alam niyo ba yung MDRT, yung $1 Million Roundtable? Isa yung premier association ng mga financial professionals in the world. At member siya, not once, not twice, but 3 times. So, di ba? Oh, bongga yun. Oh. And in Sun Life, she's also recognized at top 1,000 most respected advisor in Asia. So, hindi lang Philippines, in Asia. She's also an International Quality Awardee, a Gamma International Awardee, and a Field Management Excellence Awardee. Parang kulang yung time, no? Ang dami pala, ang haba. Pero, syempre, without further ado, so, papakilala ko na si Miss Maria Cristina Llorca or Tina.
Llorca.
Yes. Go, madam.
Yes. Grabe. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. Na-pressure naman ako sa pa-introduction ni Ate Seti. Grabe naman pala yun. So, guys, di ba, grabe yung talk ni Daniel kanina. So, sabi niya, our health is at the center of everything. Now, I'm going to pound on it a little bit later na kung bakit mas kailangan mong pahalagahan yung health mo. So, doon mo malalaman na may presyo pala pati yung health mo. So, syempre, I'm a finance expert. I mostly talk about money, and I hope most of you are comfortable talking about it because the session, our discussion for tonight actually focuses on that main goal. Magkano ba magkasakit? Paano ba natin siya i-prepare? And sino ba magpa-fund nun? So, before I dig deeper on the health aspects of everything, I wanted to have this discussion a end-to-end discussion point. So I would not just focus on health alone, but I would want to know the entire goals that you have. And later on, I'm going to connect why you should take care of your health for you to be able to achieve all the desires of your life na siniset mo, all the goals that you're setting. So number one question ko for you guys na nandito sa webinar natin and also in our FB live stream currently. So what is your financial goal in life? Have you determined already what your financial goal is? If you know your financial goal, if you know what you want financially, can you type in yes in our chat box and on the comment sections of our FB page? So please type in yes if alam mo na. If hindi pa, don't worry because 98% of the Filipinos I've known, I've heard, I've encountered, I've discussed with, hindi pa nila alam. So there's no shame with that. So can you type in kung alam mo na yung financial goals mo? So can you type in our chat box yes kung alam mo na and no kung hindi pa? So yan, walang nagchat-chat. Mukhang wala ng tao ah. Wala na bang tao, guys? So yan. So most of you answered yes. So surprisingly, wala nagsabi ng no. So that's a good job. At least alam nyo na yung financial goals in life nyo. So normally, it just boils down into three things, diba? So number one question is, my financial goal is to be rich. Some would say to retire. Some would say to be financially independent. And among all of my friends that I've talked to, kung anong definition nila when they say rich, normally they would answer, it is the state of mind, I'm going to retire once I have a comfortable life, I am secured, and that I don't worry if I have or I don't have to work tomorrow. So tama ba yun? Do you agree with that? That when we define retirement, it's a state of being wherein you're already comfortable with what you have. You feel the security and that you worry less about whatever the future holds for you. So if you agree with that, can you type in yes in our chat box? So surprisingly, when I asked some of my friends, what do you mean when you say you wanted to be financially independent? So alam niyo, surprisingly, they will answer the same thing. They will also say, financially independent is a state of mind wherein you are already comfortable, you are secured, and that you worry less about the future. So ibig sabihin pala financially, the word rich, the word retire, the word financially independent normally just boils in to one and the same thing. And that is a number. So it's not an age. Because if I ask my friends, when do you want to be financially independent? They will answer me now. Although, pagka tinanong ko sila kung kailan na gusto mag-retire, they will answer 55, age 60, age 65. You know what? I'm here to tell you, it's not an age. It is actually a number. What is your magic number that when you have that kind of number, that kind of money in your pocket or in your financial portfolio, you would say, I'm rich already. I'm ready to retire. I'm already financially independent. So it's really important for you to know your magic number. So I actually got this idea from Sir John Merida when he shared with us during our Way Forward session, these kinds of discussion. And I'm just actually echoing it to you guys because I really believe when he said that financially independence is not an age, but a number. And therefore, meron tayong malaking problema kung hindi mo alam yung number na yan. And I'm so glad that most of you answered sa poll kanina that you already know your number. And I hope that when you say you know, you are actually planning to get to that number. So in your mind, you just kind of figure out the number that you would want to get. And for sure ako na malaki yan. So some of you might answer, my magic number is 20 million. My magic number is 10 million. My magic number is 200 million. So whatever it is, hold on to it. Because without that specific number, we cannot move forward. So that is actually our point A. Our point B pala. So where we want to go. So where we want to go from where we are right now is going to be the full-length discussion of what wealth management planning is all about. So di ba tama ba? Most of us joined this webinar because we know we're going to talk about something about health, something about wealth. So our number one goal is for you to know your number. Because without having an idea of what that number is, mahihirapan tayo mag-plan ng financial goal mo. So what are the underrated financial hacks that actually is available in our system. There are two types, which is number one, planning, and then budgeting. So we're going to talk about planning right now. So we're going to talk about how we create wealth, how we're going to protect it, and later on, how we're going to conserve it. So diba, the initial stage is for you to create wealth. Create wealth, that is having your first job, earning your income month on month, saving part of it. And then once you have the savings, you invest it. The difference between savings and investment, it's just the matter of time. Because when you invest, you have to have the time to make it grow. If you need the amount right there and then, you don't have time to make it grow, then that's called savings. So once you have the asset, you have to protect it. Why? Because you're working towards the achievement of a dream, and normally it entails having a perfect family, having the dream vacation that you have, having a perfect school for your children, and therefore you have to protect that dream. And then later on along the way, kapag yumaman ka na, so you were able to reach a certain point in time na mayaman ka na, you have to conserve it, and then you have to plan how to transfer the wealth to the next generation without diminishing its value, right? So before I move forward, I would want to share these things to you. So since we wanted to eagerly become rich, become independent, so there is a study made by Rich Habits. Um, it was researched over 5 years by best-selling authors, speakers, and chartered financial planner named Tom Corey. In the study, 233 wealthy individuals were interviewed. All of them answered 144 questions. So this study was shared among 50 million people in 25 countries. And one of the things that he learned was how they actually created wealth. So dito daw sa 233 individuals na to, sinamarize niya yung predominant paths that the wealthy person pursued. And I hope some of us would be inspired by these three types of predominant people that we can somehow manage to, kumbaga, gayahin natin yung ginawa nila. I already shared this in our session, first part series of Rich to Teach, series 1. But I wanted to reiterate and go back to this and teach us to some of the fresh faces in the crowd. So number one is the savers investors. So most of us will fall under Warren Buffett's definition on how he created wealth. 22% of wealthy individuals are savers investors. What do we mean by that? All of them has zero debt. Wala silang utang. They have passive income that generate savings, and those savings help to meet or exceed their standard of living. Ibig sabihin, yung kinikita ng passive income nila, enough na para mabuhay sila from day to day. Essentially, they spend less than what they earn. So, syempre, yung spending less than what they earn is relative in nature. To someone who's like Warren Buffett, baka yung low standard of living niyan, di ba, isang barangay na sa Pilipinas. So, a low standard of living does not gives you an absolute number. It gives you an absolute percentage. Because for someone who is earning 100,000, 80,000 or 50,000 might be a low standard living for them. But for someone who's just earning 40,000, then 30,000 is a high standard of living already. So savers investors has low standard of living. They have typically modest income, an income that exceeds their low standard of living, and a long-term savings plan of 20% or more. Consistently and prudently saving over many years before sila naging wealthy. So that's number one, savers investor. Yung next natin are the virtuosos. So the virtuosos approximately make up 27% of rich people. And they are actually the, kumbaga, corporate rock stars. Sila yung nagtatagal sa isang company, they work towards their way from down to up. So, pagka dating nila sa mataas na posisyon, syempre malaki na yung sweldo nila. And that's how they create their wealth. So if you are someone who would want to be a corporate rock star and be wealthy on that journey, then you are a virtuoso. So the last type is the dreamers. And majority of the wealthy people falls down in this category, which means this type of people pursued big dreams and were able to turn them into reality. So, ikaw ba yan? So, meron ka bang malaking idea na feeling mo, pag na-put in mo into action, bigla siyang magbobongga? If that is you, then I salute you. So, I hope you'll be able to achieve the wealthy portfolio that you're looking for by having that dream for soon. So, with these three categories of wealthy person, there's one thing in common. All of them have time to build those wealth. Wala sa kanila yung in an instant, biglang naging mayaman na. It came from prudent, consistent, and a time before nila na-achieve yung certain level of wealth na meron sila. And therefore, it is really essential for us to protect time. If our single ally towards achieving our financial goals, if the most important factor to becoming wealthy is time, then our time should be protected. Tama ba yun? Tama ba yun, guys? Can you type in yes? Yes naman tayo dyan sa chat box yan. I'm seeing a lot of yeses in the chat box. So time is our most important ally. If we do not have time, how can we achieve those wealth? Paano tayo yayaman? Paano tayo magiging financially independent? Paano natin ma-reach yung dream goal natin? And if time is the most important element to succeed, what is the biggest threat to your time? What is that one catastrophe that when it happens, your whole financial journey is disrupted? Do you have an idea kung ano yung single most catastrophic element that may destroy our time? So, the single most catastrophic event that can happen to anyone who would want to have the time is actually illness. It's not that, guys. It's not that agad. Why? Because 90% of the time, you are going to get sick before you die. And therefore, the most common culprit of time is critical illness. If you can see the numbers I presented on the screen, and of course, I would like to take give credit to the owner of the slide, which is Sir Jong Rida. So if you're going to check on the 10 normal causes of death in the Philippines, 9 out of 10 are critical illnesses. 90% of the time, you're going to get sick before you die. So number 1 is disease of the heart. Number 2 is disease of the vascular system, malignant neoplasm, pneumonia. Of course, COVID is not there yet, but most common cause of death for COVID is pneumonia. And then number 5, the only non-health related issue, diba, that might cause your death is accident. The rest, tuberculosis, chronic lower respiratory disease, diabetes, nephritis, and certain conditions originating in prenatal period are all critical illnesses. So the first thing that you have to do if you want to be healthy is protect yourself from this critical illnesses. And of course, the first thing that you can do about it is yung advice ni Daniel. Have a healthy life. Because truly, health is wealth, guys. But even if, diba, despite kumaga, perfect conditions, perfect exercise, perfect food that we eat, we don't stand a chance not to be diagnosed with any critical illnesses. I'm telling you. You don't get to tell someone that, paano kung hindi ako magkasakit? Walang ganun, Mars. I'm telling you, 90% of the time, you are going to get sick before you die. And therefore, 90% of the time, all of us will encounter these illnesses. And therefore, if that's 90% of the time, you have to get ready for this. And we're going to discuss what are the different types of investing or funding system that you can take advantage of in the Philippines. Okay. So yeah, let's talk about this. So the 4 levels of health funding in the Philippines. In PH, we don't have a proper healthcare funding system. That's our number one problem. So we don't have any significant health funding source. You are lucky enough if you have an HMO. Because 5 million out of the 206 million have HMO actually. You're lucky enough. So sabi nila, paano kapag may PhilHealth naman? Well, if you are a Filipino, yes, you have a PhilHealth coverage. But let me tell you this. PhilHealth coverage can only do so much for us. Why? So this is the normal coverages that you can get out of PhilHealth. If you are a female and you get diagnosed of breast cancer, you'll have 100,000. For any other cancer, 20,000. If you are male and if you get diagnosed with prostate cancer, you'll have 100,000. For all other types of cancer, it's 20,000. If you are a child and you have leukemia, you're gonna get 100,000. For all other types of cancer, you just get 20,000. And 20,000, guys, let's stop kidding around. It's not gonna get you somewhere. Because sa diagnosis pa lang, ubos na yung 90,000. Ubos na yung 20,000. Hindi mo madadiagnose yung cancer with 20,000. The government is gonna shell out a certain percentage, but it will not go higher than 8 to 12% of the entire cost. The rest, 92% of the cost, you'll have to find it someplace else. And you're lucky enough if you have HMO. Sabi ko nga kanina, 5 million of Filipinos working. So 5 million out of 206 million Filipinos have HMO. Kaya lang, even if you have an HMO, thing is, 90% of the 5 million has a coverage of around 90,000 to 150,000. That's okay. Kesa wala. But then again, 90% will only mauubos na yun sa diagnosis pa lang. Diagnosis is around 114, 262. So what happens to us Filipinos? Did you know, guys, 9 out of 10 Filipinos died without even seeing a doctor? 9 out of 10. Why? Because number one, we don't have any significant health care fund available in our financial system or funded by the government. Number two, we don't actually have any screening facilities. Unlike in other countries, they have a way to pre-screen you kung magkaka-cancer ka ba or hindi. We don't have that. Normally, before a Filipino gets to go to a hospital, is when they are already on a metastatic stage. What does that mean? Kapag tayong Pilipino nakaramdam ng sakit, and I'm pretty sure most of you here would agree, i-deny mo muna yan. Hindi, ubo lang yan. Siguro hindi ngayon kasi yung ubo nakakatakot eh. Pero pag nakakita ka ng bukol, hindi, madadaan natin yan sa Lola Remedios. Hindi, lang yan, lagyan mo lang yan ng yelo. Diba? And then we only go to the doctor kapag sobrang obvious na ng symptoms, yung malala na, yung hindi mo na kaya yung pain. And then once you get to the doctor, terminally ill ka na pala because stage 3, stage 4 na yung cancer. And mind you guys, at this stage, wala ka ng HMO kasi naubos na yan sa diagnosis. Wala na rin sagot yung PhilHealth. Kaya 9 out of 10 Filipinos will not or will never get to seek financial care or medical care in this country. Kasi wala na silang source. Unless they are the 10% of the Filipinos who are capable to pay. And hindi rin advantage yun. Why? Because those 10% would have to pay at a higher amount. Do you know why? Alam nyo ba na sa Southeast Asia, tayo may pinakamataas na inflation ng pagtaas ng cost ng medical care? Because our medical care is not that of regulated. So tayo yung pinakamataas. Lagi na lang tayong number 1. Sobrang pangmalakasan na talaga natin. Tapos, a recent study shows, during the talk ni Sir Jong Merida nung nag-share niya to sa amin, which is really parang, kumbaga, it hit me. Because he said, he was conducting a survey or an engagement with one of the companies who caters cancer patients. So, ang binibenta nila is yung mga onco products, which are mostly for cancer patient. It has studies over Southeast Asia. And then, one of the questions there is, tinanong niya, kung magkakasakit ka, madadiagnose ka ng cancer for example, and you have an insurance on top of the HMO na to, on top of the PhilHealth, and you have insurance. Question, would you seek for medical care? So, question ko sa inyo guys, if you are diagnosed with a critical illness, you have an insurance on top of the HMO and PhilHealth, would you seek for medical treatment? So someone's answered yes. Pero do you know what, guys? Sa lahat ng Southeast Asian countries, nagtaka yung company. Pilipinas lang ang nagsabi ng no. Why? Kasi nga iniisip nila na instead na ipagpapagamot ko pa yung critical illness coverage ko, ibigay mo na lang sa pamilya. It's actually noble at the same time, hindi ko mabigyan ng tamang word. Kasi baka may MTRCB tayo. Diba? Noble siya kasi okay lang yan. Very selfless ang mga Pilipino pagdating sa family. Tama? So, sige, sa pamilya ko na lang yan. Pero thing is, pag may nangyari sa'yo na wala ka, pinutol mo na lahat nung pwede mo pang mabigay sa kanila. Tama ba? And therefore, we boil down to the quote that we normally say, if you are a typical Filipino living in the Philippines, you have a healthcare problem. You have a problem in your healthcare funding. Why? Kasi nga, si government, 8% to 12% lang ibibigay niya. Another 8% siguro bibigay sa'yo ni HMO. But the rest, you have to figure it out. Paano mo siya susolusyonan. And the rest of the percentage, you have to either pay it for yourself or have the financial system do it for you, pay it for you. Kasi nga sabi ko sa'yo, kung babayaran mo siya sa sarili mo, it's going to cost you a lot of money, 3 million, 4 million. If you are someone aiming to have 5 million at the end of 5 years, you are halfway through it. You are 2.5 million already. You've saved it for 3 years, and then all of a sudden, boom, you've had a critical illness. Wala na. Uubusin niya lang yung investment na yun. Tama? So if you are someone really serious about planning about your number, planning to get your goal, planning to have financial security, the first thing that you have to have is a healthcare funding system that is in our financial system already, and that is through health insurance. Before you even go into investment, before you even get a life insurance coverage. Ang number one consideration mo, ang number one na dapat inuuna mo is yung healthcare funding mo. So when planning in the Philippines starts with the healthcare plan, wealth planning in the Philippines starts with the healthcare plan. Why in the Philippines? Kasi sa ibang bansa, fully covered lahat yan. Doon, pag may HMO ka, pwede na. Sad to say, sa atin hindi pa ganun. And therefore, if you're going to plan your wealth, if you wanted to achieve that number that you are dreaming of, if you wanted to be successful, be financially independent, then the first thing that you have to have is a healthcare plan. Because the single most culprit, time culprit is actually a critical illness, and you would want to be ready for that. So to end my discussion, I would want to leave this 4 strategies for you. So number 1, hindi nasama dyan, is you have to know your number. Whatever it is, you have to know your number and decide and design a plan on how you'll get there. Create a strategy. Revise if you have to, but don't ever give up on it. Because it may be a huge number, but if you have a specific plan to achieve it, you are 50% already towards the achievement of your plan. And guys, it is a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a long journey. And therefore, kailangan properly plan siya. Kailangan pinag-isipan mo talaga siya. So let's end my session with this video. Wait lang. Can I share computer sound? Share. Nakikita yung screen ko.
Yes.
Naririnig siya.
Not yet.
Yes, usapang health insurance po. Ay, nako, hindi mo naman talaga kailangan ng health insurance. Talaga, Chinky, hindi. Talagang hindi. Oo, bakit po? Number 1, hindi mo kailangan ng health insurance kung hindi ka nagkakasakit dahil
Ay, sa akin nagpe-play na. Wait lang.
May delay lang siguro.
Okay naman, dinig ko na.
Okay na.
Yes,
Yeah.
usapang health insurance po. Ay, nako, hindi mo naman talaga kailangan ng health insurance. Talaga, Chinky, hindi. Talagang hindi. Oo, bakit po? Number 1, hindi mo kailangan ng health insurance kung hindi ka nagkakasakit dahil meron kang supernatural powers. Woo! Number 2, hindi mo kailangan ng health insurance kung may-ari ka.
Sa akin.
Wala sa akin.
Wala ka nang babayaran. Hindi mo rin kailangan ng third ng health insurance.
Pero si
Daniel,
Jones
pwede-
nag-enjoy.
Daniel, ikaw na lang mag-share, please.
Tunay, ba't ako naririnig ko?
Naririnig namin UM, nagple-play na siya.
Kung anak ka
Kasi
ng...
mo na sila.
But if you don't fall to any
Hindi
of these
namin
three
narinig.
categories, kailangan mo ng health.
Kasi hindi daw nila naririnig.
I see. Sige.
Wait
Sa
lang.
mga host lang yata. Walang sound sa akin. Alright.
Wait lang po.
Yes, usapang health
Yan.
insurance po. Ay, nako, hindi mo naman talaga kailangan ng
Okay
health
na?
insurance. Talaga, Chinky, hindi. Talagang hindi. Oo, bakit po? Number 1, hindi mo kailangan ng health insurance kung hindi ka nagkakasakit dahil meron kang supernatural powers. Woo! Number 2, hindi mo kailangan ng health insurance kung may-ari ka ng hospital. Di ba? Kasi wala ka nang babayaran. Hindi mo rin kailangan ng third ng health insurance kung anak ka ng mayaman. But if you don't fall to any of these three categories, kailangan mo ng health insurance. Bakit ba talaga natin kailangan ng health insurance? Sinki, gastusin pa lang yan. Alam niyo naman po ang nangyayari po dahil sa mga nagkakasakit po, dahil because of this virus na ito. Eh nako, hindi nyo lang po alam na tahimik lang po ang pinag-uusapan lang na po natin yung mga nagkasakit. Pinag-uusapan lang po natin probably yung mga namatay. Pero hindi po natin pinag-uusapan yung bills. Ay, tignan po natin kung magkano yung bills. Alam mo ba, yung isang bill po naman ng COVID patient po, according to isang news item po, ay umabot lang po ng 3 million pesos. 3 million lang po. Meron po isa namang tinamaan din ng COVID po. 18 days lang po ang kanyang ika nga pinamalagi lang sa ospital. Ang bill lang po niya ay 1 million pesos na tumataginting. Ay, kaya nga po. Kaya milyon na milyon po ang hospital bills ng ating mga kababayan nagkakaroon ng sakit na ito. Hindi lang po sakit ng katawan, kundi sakit ng bulsa ang dinadanas sila. Alam mo, sa panahon ngayon talagang mahirap magkasakit. At mas lalo na kung kapos po ang ating pambayad sa ating medical expenses. Ay, kaya kailangan po magdoble ingat po tayo sa global health crisis na ito dahil ito hindi po biro mga friends ha, hindi to talaga to biro. Marami pa akong nababalitaan na umaaray na po, hindi lang po sa sakit, umaaray din po sa mga bills ng hospitals. Kaya nga po,
when it comes to critical illness insurance, knowing the proper medical definitions is essential.
Well, the major critical illnesses are those that are potentially life-threatening. Pag ang kliyente na-diagnose na meron nitong major critical illness, the threat to life is almost real or almost immediate. No? The minor critical illnesses, if you will notice the list, are mostly procedures which will prevent progression to the major critical illness. So you have different procedures there, and of course, it was also mentioned that early cancers are considered as minor critical illnesses.
Aside from knowing the proper medical terms, it's also imperative to review one's policy carefully.
Most important thing about claiming for critical illness, the client should be able to gather all the medical information, specifically pathology reports, the diagnosis of their doctors, the hospital records, so that there will be no problems when they claim for a critical illness benefit. That is why it is not the advisor's responsibility anymore to make sure that the documents submitted are correct. These will be reviewed by our claims analysts, and if there are any deficiencies or questions about the medical documents submitted, then they refer to us here at the medical department.
Critical illness insurance. Ask yourself, are you covered when life-altering critical illness hits you? Will your financial health still be on track if you need to spend as much as ₱1 million for your hospital expenses? Critical illness insurance is designed to pay the expenses associated with life-altering illnesses, so you can focus on getting well and not on your finances. To know more about Sun Life's health and accident insurance products, talk to a Sun Life advisor today or visit sunlife.com.ph.
Kahit anong alaga mo, kahit anong ingat mo, pwedeng tamaan ka pa rin ng matindi. I'm talking about your health. That's why health insurance is important to me. Sunfit and Well gives life and health coverage, from prevention, diagnosis, treatment, to rehabilitation. It pays to be fit and well covered.
Ayan, Joms, tapos na.
Alright. Partner, andyan ka pa?
Ang galing. Ang dami kong natutunan, partner. Ang
Agree,
galing
agree.
na ano.
Yes.
Alam mo, tama no? Pinaka gusto kong quote doon is, financial independence is not an age. It is a number. No? Ang dami kasing may gustong yumaman pero hindi nila alam kung magkano ang kailangan nila para masabing I'm independent and I'm rich. Tapos, syempre kung investment savvy ka, no, gusto mo talagang yumaman, talaga naman na you have to get critical illness insurance because one critical illness could wipe out your entire wealth eh. Nakita mo ba yung partner, yung pinakita ni Miss Tina na parang cost of illnesses? 200?
Yes.
260?
Exactly. More, mababa na yung 2 million actually.
Oo. Pero diagnosis pa lang, 260. So wala pa dito yung treatment, wala pa dito yung mga post-care.
Ay, oo.
Oh my gosh. Tapos yung PhilHealth, 20,000 lang pala. parang in an average na mako-contribute sa'yo. So, the question is, are you financially prepared when critical illness strikes, when emergency strikes? Sabi nga ni Papa Piolo. O, di ba? Ganyan lang yung kinuha ko, no?
And ito rin just want to add dun sa una mong sinabi. Sa amin kasing mga engineers, very important yung numbers eh. So, di ba, ang ganda nung umpisa nung talk ni Miss Tina Llorca. Kumbaga, if you want to get rich, kailangan alam mo yung specific number. Ano yung magic number mo? Sa aming mga engineers, very important yan. Kasi kapag may nakikita kaming numbers, mas doable siya. Mas na-check namin yung progress namin kung on track kami. So, imagine, same with our journey, financial journey, no? Ako, for example, my magic number is 26 million. So, at some point, every year, marireview ko siya. Kung, ang layo ko pa, I'm 10% pa lang papunta dito sa magic number ko. Ganon. So, it's very important din pala na malalaman natin yung number natin.
Pag may goal ka, alam mo kung na-reach mo na o hindi. Kaysa yung nagdi-dream pa lang tayo. Ano?
Tapos, isa pa sa pinaka natutunan ko dito yung sistema dito sa Philippines.
Yes.
Di ba? Yung pala talaga yung problema. Di ba? Yung healthcare. So, ayun, di ba? So, it's very important din na meron kang personal for you. PhilHealth is not enough. Your HMO is definitely not enough. So, talagang crucial din na nagke-create ka ng protection mo for yourself.
Yes.
So, yun. Sobrang dami kong
natutunan. Ko lang kasi nabanggit mo yung HMO. May client kasi ako recently, nasa aviation siya. Pero, alam mo ba, unlimited pala ang HMO doon?
Hindi ko alam yan.
Alam mo, the moment you step outside of your company, bye-bye HMO ka. And are you forever working? Of course not.
I see. Oo. Yan din ang lagi kong sinasabi sa mga client ko. Joms, may HMO na ako. Sige. Kayo na ba nung HMO mo? Nagpakasal na kayo? Hindi na kayo maghihiwalay? Yun yung question di ba? Hindi, totoo. Sinasabi ko yun sa kanila. Hindi para pilitin sila. Pero just to make them realize na etong mga to is just temporary. Kapag nasa company ka, yes, you are covered. Pero by the time na umalis ka na, wala na. Reset ka na. Di ba? So, yun siya. So, let's move forward. For sure, marami ring natutunan yung mga participants natin tonight, yung mga attendees natin. After knowing, kung ano ba tong dapat na meron ako, magkano ba dapat pag tinamaan ako, etong next discussion is very important. So, ano ba yung next na dapat kong gawin? Ano yung action na dapat na gawin ko ngayon? So, yun siya. So, our next speaker for tonight is Mr. Romar Joshua Cabasag. Ito, sobrang idol ko to in terms of madaming bagay actually, mga analysis. So, makikita nyo rin yan mamaya. So, Mr. Joshua Cabasag is an Excel program developer, definitely Sun Life advisor under our team, data analyst. Yun pa lang talagang wow, pang matalino yun. So data analyst siya, freelance tax consultant, and Amazon PPC Management Associate. Sabi niya, the best way to teach is by an example. So, ibibigay ko na sa inyo, Mr. Romar Joshua Cabasag.
Ayan, thanks Jom sa introduction, So, grabe. First
may kulang pa pala. Sorry,
yan.
may kulang pa. Yung second na pinakagwapo sa team namin, Mr. Romar Joshua Cabasag.
Yan.
Ayan,
siyempre may first,
thank
diba?
you. So, gusto ko lang pala mag-thank muna dun sa sa second speaker natin kay UMP na kasi sobrang pinadali niya introduction ng magiging part ko. So, introducing the healthcare system ng Pilipinas, the PhilHealth and HMO standing ng Pilipinas natin, especially yung system natin ngayon. And why it's not enough to have those two only. Now, sa talk ko ngayon, I would provide solution and options on how we can handle the problem natin dito sa health status natin sa Pilipinas. Pero I also want to thank yung part yung video advertisement kanina kay Papa Pino. Gusto ko talaga yung nilalagay mo na yung video ad niya, tapos yung mukha ko. Mahabang exposure na mukha ko sa screen. Nasa FB Live tayo. Hello sa mga fans ko dyan. So dahil medyo kabado ang speaker at gusto ko rin magising kayo. So medyo muna tayo. Icebreaker muna tayo. Para sa mga co-host ko dito, sabayan nyo ako, mag-unmute kayo. para lang mawala ang kaba natin at ang antok ng iba natin mga audience.
Alright,
So
sige.
sabihin natin,
Sige.
so pumikit kayo.
Ay,
Pikit.
may ganun.
Oh my gosh.
Antokin
Sige.
lalo.
Meditation to, meditation.
Sige.
Tapos, hinga malalim. Tapos sabihin nyo,
Parang nakakatawa-tawa.
Sampung mga daliri, kamay at paa. Okay na. Yun na yun, tama na yun. Baka
Ano pa?
exposure, baka, check ko muna FB Live, baka wala na nanonood. Mabuti na naman.
Okay na, wala na. Nagalisan na yung mga participants natin.
Ayan, hindi habang tumatagal, ito yung maganda sa natin, sa webinar natin. Kasi nag-start tayo, meron lang tayong 21 participants. At ngayon, meron na tayong 82 participants. So, I just want to shout out sa mga sa mga participants natin ngayon. Sobrang nagta-thank you ako. So, ayoko nang patagalin pa yung kalokohan ko. Punta na tayo sa totoo. So, what's the solution and what are our options? Remember, bumalik tayo sa part na we are setting our goals, we are setting our financial independence goal. Gusto natin yumaman, gusto natin mag-retire, gusto natin maging financially independent. Right? Tama. So, sa sinabi kanina ni UMT na sabi natin, the number one na kalaban natin sa time na ginugugol natin to achieve those goals is yung time when we get sick, when we get critical illness. At yung kanina yung discussion medyo mabigat kasi kaya naman talaga umiiwas ng tao sa usapan and topics about insurances kasi andun nga yung usapan na mamamatay tayo, andun yung topic na magkakasakit tayo, magiging critically ill tayo. But let's face it, without that kind of, without facing those things, without admitting sa sarili natin na madadaanan natin yung experience na yon at one point in our time, hindi tayo makakarating doon sa gusto nating pupuntahan, doon sa success na gusto natin mangyari, doon sa financial independence, doon sa retirement na pangarap natin. So, we really need to face it. Ano yung pwede natin gawin para masolusyonan yung bagay na yon? Na kapag dumating sa point na tayo nagkasakit, and remember the keyword, critically ill. At based na sa video kanina, when we say critical illness, it is a state na kapag nagkasakit tayo, nagiging at risk na tayo at dying. So, gusto ko malaman sa mga participants natin dito sa webinar, sino sa inyo yung merong kakilala na na-diagnose na ng critical illness? Cancer, pneumonia, heart attack. So, i-type niyo naman letter A, no? Para malaman ko kung nagpa-participate pa tayo. Kasi kapag hindi kayo nag-participate, sige, magkaka-critical illness kayo in the future. Sige, sino may mga kakilala na gano'n? Yan, very good. Thank you.
Uy, knock-knock ka naman.
Knock-knock daw. Knock-knock.
Ibig ko sabihin, mag-knock-knock. Kasabi mo kasi yung hindi sasabi.
Okay, sorry. Kala ko pinagjo-joke mo ako eh.
Loko-loko.
Pero binitin mo na ako. Sige na, Joms, knock-knock.
Pasok. Ay, hindi. Who's there?
Pritong mani, pritong sawa. Sinigang kare-kare.
Wow. Pritong mani, pritong sawa, sinigang kare-kare hu.
Pritong mani, pritong sawa, sinigang
kare-kare. Ang pangit. Proceed.
O, di ba? Si Tina kasi. Ang ganda na eh. Okay, well, going back. Ayan. So, yun nga. Kailangan maging prepared tayo dun sa in case na magkaroon na tayong critical illness. So, I want to be straightforward. Isa lang naman ang kailangan natin gawin. We need to build a health fund that would cover that incident. That time na magkaroon tayo ng critical illness, that time na ma-hospitalize tayo, and that time na magkaroon tayo ng terminal illness. So, speaking of building our health fund, alam ko yung mga participants natin, yung mga nanonood nyo sa Facebook, yung mga work, right? So, if I would ask, what is your current activity to build your health fund? I know for sure, sasagot nyo, meron kayong PhilHealth. Yan. And I know for sure, may mga magsasagot yan, may HMO yung company namin. And I really like to, sobrahan, no? I really want to appreciate those who are already starting building their health fund. So PhilHealth and HMO, I want to reiterate, are essentials, starting point of building our health fund. Bakit? Kasi pag nagkasakit tayo, emergency, pupunta tayo sa hospital. Ang una lagi natin tinatakbuhan is PhilHealth. Kung may HMO, then that's good. Emergency purposes, PhilHealth and HMO, bidang-bida yan. Kasi it is something na pwede nating lapitan. Magkakaroon tayo ng discount. Mababawasan yung bayarin natin. Maka-cover yung emergencies. That's why if you have PhilHealth, if you have HMO, well, very good job sa inyo. Sadly to say, sa Philippines, sobrang underrated ng health insurance. Bakit? Kasi we never really think about critical illness. As kanina sinabi ni Tina, yung cost, pinakita niya yung cost ng mga critical illness, sobrang mamahal. Diagnosis pa lang. And I myself, witness ako kung gaano kamahal ang pagkakaroon ng critical illness. As yung mother-in-law ko nagkaroon din ng critical illness, which is cervical cancer before. Kaya sobrang alam ko kung gaano kamahal ang magkaroon ng critical illness. And ang solution namin for critical illnesses, of course, our own health insurance plans, Sun Life Financials. Punta tayo sa next slide. A regular employee like you guys can benefit from both PhilHealth and HFO, but it goes into question whether or not they are sufficient to cover critical illnesses. PhilHealth and HMO are helpful, but not enough. So, magbibigay ako ng example, nakita nyo ngayon sa mga screens nyo, no? Medical condition, heart bypass, and treatment cost nyan is 812,000. Meron tayong PhilHealth limit. For this, ang information na nakuha ko is 37,600. Sa other HMO, meron silang coverage din per illness. However, usually, meron siyang limit per year per sickness. And for this one, we have 200,000 limit per year. So meron kaagad tayong shortfall, and that's the shortfall ng treatment cost na 574,000. The same din siya sa liver cancer, stroke, kidney dialysis, whatever yung treatment cost na nakikita nyo ngayon sa mga screens nyo, na-cover siya ng PhilHealth and HMO, but with a certain limit. That's why we always say PhilHealth and HMOs are good, but they're not enough. If they're not enough, doon na tayo nagkakaroon ng financial crisis. Doon na tayo nagkakaroon ng financial loss. Doon na tayo naka-experience mga problema kung paano natin babayaran yung mga future bills natin once na maubos natin or ma-exhaust natin yung benefit and yung limit natin in PhilHealth and in HMO. So, ano yung pwede natin gawin? I want to provide you, ayan, sumobra. I want to provide you a sneak peek of our health insurance plans that could help you. Bakit naman yung screen ko? Gumagalaw mag-isa. Ayan. Wait lang Ayan. That could help you with your with the problems on the shortfall dun sa mga critical illnesses natin. And one product that I have here is Sun Life Assure. So this is sneak peek lang to. I just want to inform you. So there are for more details, I would really want to for everyone here to contact your financial advisor, to talk with our financial advisors dito sa Abraham Lincoln. You can talk with them to get more about this. But here's a sneak peek. We have the Sun Life Assure. This is a critical illness insurance product with a coverage till age 70. So I'm providing a sample proposal or a sample data that we have based on someone na female, non-smoking, and 30 years old. So ito yung details niya. 30 years old, non-smoking female. So I place here a 1 million face amount with a critical illness or life insurance coverage of 1 million. When we say critical illness benefit, ano ba yun? Pag sinabi namin critical illness benefit, ito yung kapag na-diagnose ka ng critical illnesses na nakalist dun sa proposal or sa contract namin. Let's say cancer, stroke, pneumonia, mga ganun klase. Ibibigay ni Sun Life yung 1 million in check. Laki, di ba? Sample pa lang yan. So, yung yung sum na money na yon, yun yung pwede nating gamitin for our future hospital bills. Is that good? Di ba okay naman siya? Malaki siya, di ba? Ngayon, Joshua nga malaki na, magkano ba to? So, itong proposal pinapakita ko, no? Para to sa mga gustong kumuha sa isang client na 30 years old, female, non-smoker. So, may kita niyo yung total annual premium niya is 9,740. So, for 9,740 a year, a female non-smoking person can have a critical illness benefit of 1 million. So, if she has PhilHealth, if she has HMO, and if she has this, covered na siya for everything. Covered ng PhilHealth yung ibang hospital bills niya for any other sickness. We have emergencies, nandun na sa HMO, and for critical illness na kung saan nagkukulang ang HMO and PhilHealth, we have this Sun Life Assure. So ano ba yung mga critical illness, no? Bigyan ko kayo ng sneak peek ng proposal namin. So the list of critical illness covered para sa Sun Life Assure na product are heart attack, stroke, cancer, kidney failure, dissecting aortic aneurysm, end-stage lung disease, progressive muscular atrophy, major burns, multiple sclerosis, nabulol ako doon, paralysis, total blindness, loss of limbs, aplastic anemia, bacterial meningitis, benign brain tumor, deafness, encephalitis, ALS, syempre mahirap i-pronounce, so PBP, dun tayo sa acronyms, meningeal tuberculosis, cerebral metastasis, loss of speech, Parkinson's disease, terminal illness, medullary cystic disease, Alzheimer's, fulminant hepatitis, major head trauma, end-stage liver failure, motor neuron disease, Guillain-Barré syndrome. And for surgeries, we have major organ transplant, coronary artery bypass surgery, surgery for disease of the aorta, replacement of heart valve. So, madami. For 9,000 annually, if we divide it by 12 months, wala pa siyang 1K. Getting Sun Life Assure, it is a basic standalone critical illness plan namin na that can cover up the hole or the shortfall na kung saan nagkukulang si PhilHealth and si HMO. Now, we have more comprehensive plan aside from the Sun Life Assure. We also have yung in-advertisement ko kanina, Sunfit and Well yung tawag doon. So, this is more comprehensive, more benefits, and actually, this is personally one of our best plans here in Sun. So, yun yung personal opinion ko. Isa to sa mga best policies namin, best products namin here in Sun. This is the Sun Fit and Well. Merong iba't ibang variations. We have Sun Fit and Well Advantage, we have Sun Fit and Well Plus, and we have the Sun Fit and Well Basic. So, ang pinapakita ko ngayon is the Sun Fit and Well Advantage, which is yung pinaka-comprehensive plan namin. So, if we go with Sun Fit and Well Plus and Sun Fit and Well Basic, medyo mas bababawas yung benefits. And then yung number dito na 15, this is the paying years. So this is payable for 15 years. So Sunfit and Well Advantage is a wellness product that helps you maintain a healthy lifestyle and offers life and critical illness insurance with anticipated endowments coverage to age 100. So age 100. So napaganda niya kasi kung sa HMO, we can only cover up to age 65. Sunfit and Well can cover you up to age 100. So you don't need to worry about kapag kinuha mo to early and then tumanda ka, what if 80 ka na, baka mawala yung benefit ko. No, it doesn't work like that. Kasi Sunfit and Well can cover you till age 100. Now, I think this is an error sa slide. So hindi nagsho-show yung proper image. So let me just go ahead and try to change the screen. So papakita ko yung screen ko. Let's see. Kasi ang papakita ko diyan dapat sa first part na to is yung benefits. Okay lang ako mag-share ng screen, Daniel.
Go.
Sure tayo. Ayan, nakita ba lahat? Ayan. So, for Sunfit and Well, here's the benefit. So, I used the same scenario. Si client natin is female, 30 years old, non-smoking, and then with the same face amount of 1 million. So, with this kind of data, ano yung mga benefits na pwede niyang ma-receive kapag nag-avail siya ng Sunfit and Well? Advantage. One, the initial life insurance coverage would be 1 million. So meaning to say, if in case of death, 1 million agad yung pwedeng ma-receive ng beneficiaries niya. Specific cancer booster benefit is 500,000. So if ever na ma-diagnose si client ng cancer, the coverage will 500,000 will be added on top of 1 million. And then guaranteed cash benefits, 50,000. Ito lagi itong tinatanong sa ano po yung guaranteed cash benefits, no? So guaranteed cash benefits, ito yung endowment ng plan namin kasi in Sun Life we believe na kapag healthy ka, no, binibigyan ng reward ni Sun Life yan. So kailan mo kuha yung guaranteed cash benefits? Makuha to once you reach the age of 65 and you will receive this annually for the next 8 years. So that's 50,000 times 8 years. In total, magkano yun? 50 times 8, 400,000. So from age 65 to age 72. 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 72. Kung ka sa math. And then hospital income benefit of 1,250. What does it mean? It means now when you get hospitalized, you get 1,250 per day. But this should be related dun sa critical illness na na-diagnose sa'yo. Post-hospitalization benefit, 5,000. Home recovery benefit, 625 pesos per day. And palliative care benefit of 100,000. Palliative means kapag naman na-diagnose ka ng terminal illness and binigyan ka ng tanin ng doktor na less than 6 months, you'll get 100,000. So, yun yung sneak peek ng mga benefits ng Sunfit and Well product namin. And if Daniel, can you go back to the presentation? I'll stop sharing.
Ay, nakago nandiyan naka sa screen.
Oo, tsaka lumabas bigla, no? Kaya na ba nakita niyo yung benefits?
Nope, nag-refresh ako, nag-refresh.
Okay, I see. And then how much this policy cost? For a 30 years old female non-smoking, this is 43,130 annually. So if we divide it by 12, let's say lang na mag-compare lang tayo ng monthly niya, ng monthly cost niya. That's gonna be 3,594 per month. So again, this is just a sneak peek of the proposal. Sample lang to. And this can be adjusted depending on your profile, depending on your age, your health condition, your gender. That's why if you plan to cover up yung pagkukulang ng PhilHealth plan and HMO in terms of critical illness, I really highly recommend to speak with your financial advisor and see for it, paano ba itsura ng policy or ng proposal kapag sa akin na siya na-apply. And then for the list of critical illness na covered, since mas comprehensive yung plan na to compared sa first policy or first product na pinakita ko, actually, ito yung list ng major critical illness and minor critical illness. We have like 64 major critical illnesses covered and 28 minor critical illnesses. So medyo madami siya. So di ko na siya iisa-isahin, but if you're gonna talk with our financial advisor, syempre po-provide nila information nila. Okay, so what else? Okay. So ito naman, sumabay ulit. Ito naman yung comparison ng ng health insurance, which is mostly underrated sa Philippines. HMO, this is always provided. Most companies, private companies, nagpo-provide the HMO benefits sa kanilang mga employees. And then the PhilHealth, which is also, ganun din, if you're working, you're contributing sa PhilHealth. You have the PhilHealth benefit. Kung wala ka namang work but you're voluntary contributing sa PhilHealth, you also get the PhilHealth benefit. So, ito yung differences nila. So, pinrovide ko siya in a table para madali. Medyo wordy lang siya, pero I hope you can see it and read it. So, in terms of provider, syempre, kami, health insurance, Sun Life provides it. HMO, we have different HMO companies, and then PhilHealth, of course, government yung nagpo-provide nun. In terms of governing agency, we have the Insurance Commission for Health Insurance and HMO. And then for PhilHealth, we have the government. Actually, DOH. Covering age, kanina pinaliwanag ko, Sunfit and Well can cover up to age 100. However, for HMO, mostly up to age 65 or until you are with the company. That's why it's important you to know na kapag nasa company ka and your HMO is being provided, sponsored by your company, dapat mong alalahanin na kapag umalis ka sa company, mawawala din yung HMO benefit mo. That's why you need to have backup plans in case na mawala ka sa company. Kasi you're gonna ask yourself, nandito ba ako sa company na to for a lifetime? If not, you need to think about it. Kasi kung nakita mo yung sarili mo na habang buhay ka dyan sa company, and well, that's good. You have the coverage of HMO till age 65. But if you're not, I really recommend you for have a plan B for that scenario. For PhilHealth, we have no age limit. Senior citizens are actually automatically covered for free. Then for policy terms, ang health insurance, which is basically si Sunfit and Well yung pinapaliwanag ko dito, we have fixed terms of 10 years, 15 years, and 20 years payment. So ibig sabihin, if you're gonna avail it now, and then you're gonna, you want a 10-year payment na health insurance, after 10 years, tapos ka na magbayad. So right now, I'm 26. So if I pay for 10 years, by age 36 tapos na akong magbayad, pero I would benefit dun sa mga coverage na pinakita ko kanina until age 100. Nasusundan pa naman ako, di ba? And then for HMO, annual renewable kasi yung HMO. So you're gonna pay it every year. So pag ka nagbayad for a year, din mawawala si coverage. So ganun siya. Then for PhilHealth, senior citizens indefinite siya. For non-senior member, for as long as you are actively paid. Premiums or cost, it actually increases by age for health insurance. The same with HMO. Pero for PhilHealth, which is a plus point kay PhilHealth, hindi nag-increase yung premium or dapat bayaran kay PhilHealth kahit tumanda ka. Unless na lang if government declares an increase. For the benefits, here's the list of benefits of health insurance or Sunfit and Well, is Sun Life, which I already explained earlier. So it's a summary. And then for HMO, we have emergency hospitalization, specialty checkups, dental services, and other consumable plans stated by the company. While for PhilHealth, we have hospital payment discount and cash assistance depending on case of illness. Now, for the second page ng comparison natin from health insurance, HMO, PhilHealth. Hospital accreditation, there's no need for accreditation. Ang kailangan lang ni Sun Life is a proof na nagkaroon ka ng critical illness, medical diagnosis, regardless kung saan hospital, you'll be able to get your claims. For HMO, naka-state sa contract kung saan hospital ka accredited. Depende sa HMO na in-avail mo. For PhilHealth, most hospitals, may kita nyo naman yan stated sa website nila. And then for assistance of for transmittal of financial assistance, of course, andyan yung mga magagaling natin financial advisors that will assist you in processing your claims and reimbursement. For HMO, usually merong cards, and I'm pretty sure aware na kayo doon. For PhilHealth, automatically deducted percentage from hospital bills. And what if there's no hospitalization or critical illness occurred? So the remaining coverage will be converted into death benefit. So remember, kanina yung pinakita ko proposal with 1 million benefit. If walang nangyari sa'yo, di ka na hospital, you just die. Let's say accident. Yung 1 million na hindi maksaya because that will be received by your family or your beneficiaries as a death benefit. However, for HMOs, if walang hospitalization, yung binayad mo yung coverage, so then you're not gonna receive anything. For PhilHealth, yearly payment contributions will be added to PhilHealth Fund. to extend financial assistance to those members in need. So, ibig sabihin, if you don't get sick, yung contributions mo sa napupunta yan, syempre, mapupunta sa fund ng PhilHealth para pang-help naman sa iba pang nagkakasakit. Death benefit, of course, death benefit is always a guaranteed cash benefit kay Sun Life because that's our main product, insurance. For HMO now, I know nag-start ang HMO na walang death benefit, pero I'm hearing na some HMOs now are offering or including death benefit na sa plan sila. I'm not just sure kung sino-sino sila, but if they do, I don't think kasing laki sila ng death benefit ni Sun Life. Now, for PhilHealth, in terms of death benefit, qualified dependents of the deceased members shall continue to be entitled the benefits available for the remaining expired portion of the coverage. For retirement cash assistance, so ito yung in-explain ko kanina na endowment benefit. So as early as age 65, you may advance to 5% of your policy, which is computation kanina, 1,000,000, 5% is 50,000. For 8 consecutive years, this gives you a steady income stream that you can rely on during the golden years. Then we have also special bonus for Sunfit and Well, but that will be paid kapag tapos ka na magbayad no paying terms mo. If you're paying for 10 years, then you will get that special bonus. But yung full details that will be explained to you when you talk to our financial advisors. So it's just a recap of what Sun Life health insurance plan can offer versus HMO and PhilHealth. But let's go to the next slide. But I want to inform you guys, this is not about don't get PhilHealth, don't get HMO. Just get health insurance. Hindi namin sinasabi yun. Because kanina sinabi ko, PhilHealth and HMO are essentials. They're a good start. Though may pagkukulang sila, that's why Sun Life is here. Para dun sa shortfall nila. Actually, best friend dapat silang tatlo. They're not competitors. Dapat best friend silang tatlo to provide you dun sa financial goal na gusto mo. Para dun sa dreams na sinet mo sa start ng buhay mo. If you're pursuing that, and if you get critically ill, there would be some financial loss. But with these three, for sure, yung any financial loss, prepared ka na para doon. So, what else can I say? To end this, securing Swan Health is essential as it allows an individual to work and enjoy life to the fullest. Should anyone suffer from illness and get hospitalized, they're bound to exhaust their finances with various bills. Ayan. So, I hope guys na may natutunan kayo dun sa short presentation ko. And I really want you to start building your health fund. And for more information, talk to our financial advisor. Joms, take it away.
Nice! Partner, andiyan ka pa?
Of course. Anong masasabi mo, pare? Paring John?
Alam mo, ako kaya si paring Joshua yung nilagay natin dito sa i-discuss yung mga differences. Kasi nga, data analyst siya eh. Gustong-gusto ko yung binigay niya, yung comparison niya nung different aspects nung tatlo, di ba? And the bottom line is, best friends sila. You have PhilHealth, you have your HMO, and definitely you have your personal plan kay Sun Life, which is yung Sunfit and Well nga yung maganda, di ba? So, best friends sila para ma-cover up mo talaga yung mga potential threat sa finances mo. So ako, ang dami kong natutunan. Ikaw ba, partner?
Oo, no? So, sa audience natin, kapag gusto nyong makuha yung comparison na yun, kasi maganda siya eh. Para makita mo talaga yung options mo. Ano ba yung makukuha ko sa PhilHealth? Hanggang kailan ito? Hanggang kailan ako magbe-benefit from this? Ano makukuha ko sa kanya? From HMO, from my own health plan. Tapos, ayun nga, combo siya. Tama ka. Dapat combo talaga sila. Kasi kino-complement nila yung isa't isa. So, na-note ko lang, no? Kasi nagko-compute ako kanina. Gawa ng accountant tayo. Siyempre, nagko-compute ako. Ni Joshi, 9,740 ang premium. Tama ba, Joshi? 9740?
Yes, ano yun? That's
Assure.
for Sun Life Assure. Kasi sa
Oo.
Sun Life Assure, that's a stand-alone critical illness benefit. So kaya siya mura kasi ang focus niya is critical illness benefit. And
Oo. So,
compared dun sa Sunfit at wala, sobrang dami pa niyang benefits. So if you're looking for a budget wise pero you want to cover critical illness kasi meron ka ng PhilHealth, then meron ka ng HMO na provided ng company, then you can go with Sun Life Assure.
Oo, kasi nakita ko 9,740 tapos 1 million coverage for the year. So kino-compute ko 811 per month, 26 pesos per day. Ano, tama ba?
Yes.
26
Yes.
Tama. Siyempre maniniwala na kami sa computation.
Maniniwala kami, accountant ka eh.
40 divided by 12 divided by 31.
Yes.
Yung ganon. So kapag ano naman, kapag fit and well, kinukumpit ko, 43 per year yun eh. 43 per year. Tapos, nasa papatak lang siya ng 116 naman per day. Tapos, parang may cashback pa to. Ibig sabihin, pag hindi ka nagkasakit, mare-return somewhat yung pera mo kasi it's partly invested din. Parang partly, nakakuha ka ng dividends from salary. Okay. Yes. Thank you so much, Joshi.
Thank you din, partner. Ang ganda nung ano mo May pag-breakdown ka pa nung monthly, daily. So 26 and 43. 100 plus yung isa, no?
Oo, 116 lang.
Actually, maganda yung ginawa mo eh. Minsan kasi, paano ba? Minsan kasi pag hindi yan nasasabi, ganun lang pala daily na. So, doable pala siya. Kasi minsan kami sa office, madalas nagmi-milk tea kami araw-araw eh. Magkano ba ang milk tea? It's 110. Yung paborito ko, 125 yun eh. Kasi may pudding pa.
Araw-araw yan.
Oo, ganun kami. Diba? So, imagine, pang health funding ko na rin pala yun. So, pwede pala. So, ganun siya. So, ayun. Ako, sobrang masaya ako kasi naging maganda yung flow natin eh. From Daniel, kung paano naapektuhan ng health yung different aspects of life. Going to discussion ni Miss Tina, ano ba yung magic number mo? Ano yung health system funding sa Philippines? Sino yung magpa-fund? Tapos, ang ganda nung finishing, punch ni paring Joshua, di ba? So, ano yung mga options mo? Ano yung dapat mong gawin ngayon? Yan. So, ang ganda ng direction ng webinar. So, thank you so much sa ating mga speakers. And now, we will open the floor for questions. No, partner? Nakamute ka.
Oo, sorry.
Yeah.
Right. Kasi syempre, baka meron silang doubts or parang gusto nang i-clarify right now. Pwede nilang itanong yon, lalo na yung mga nasa FB Live din. No? May nag-monitor. You could comment your questions sa mga audience natin ngayon. You can type it in the chat. Yes?
Yes, you can type it or you can unmute yourself para mas masaya.
Pwede.
Don't be shy. Wala ba magtatanong?
Ayan. Wala nagtatanong. Shoutout sa kuya ko, no, na umattend ng presentation ko.
Joshi, nagulat ako kasi akala ko nag-join ka uli. Sabi ko, bakit kaya si Joshua ay nag-join uli? Abay, nakita ko si Ryan Kabasag. Yes.
Ayan. So, sabi niya, nag-PM siya sa akin, nice speech to be specific, very good presentation, direct to the point. So, thank you, kuya. Ayan.
Amazing. Kanina, may client ako. Ang question niya, idaling ko na lang din dito. Paano yun, Joms, kapag meron akong Sunfit and Well, tapos eventually, at age 30, kunyari, na-max out ko yung insurance kasi tinamaan ako ng major critical illness. Makukuha ko pa ba yung mga guaranteed endowment ko? Yan yung question niya. Can you please answer it, Josh?
Okay. Kasi yung kanina pinakita ko na proposal na 1 million for a 30-year-old female non-smoker na 1 million, diba? Consumable yan. So, meron tayong mga what-if scenarios dyan. Na-exhaust siya, depende. So, we have the major critical illness and the minor critical illness. Now, kapag na-hit mo is major critical illness, you get 100% of the 1 million, which is 1 million. So once na maubos mo yung 1 million na consumable, then that's it. The contract will cease. Will cease. Yeah, sorry. Na siya, matatapos na yung contract.
Yes.
And hanggat hindi pa ubos yung 1 million, you get all the benefit. Now for minor critical illness, if you get minor critical illness, you get 20% of of the face amount na 1 million.
This amount.
Yes. 20% ng 1 million is 200,000. So kung minor
Alright.
critical illness lang yung tumama sa'yo, you get 200,000 pesos. Tapos may naminin ka pang 800,000 that you can receive if ever tamaan ka ulit ng another minor critical illness or major critical illness. Now,
Alright.
going back sa question ng friend mo na if na-exhaust niya na yung lahat, yung 1 million, then, ma-receive pa ba niya yung endowment? Hindi na. Kasi, once na na-consume mo na yung buong 1 million, masisis na yung contract mo, yung policy. Now, let's change the scenario. Let's say minor critical illness lang yung tumama sa'yo. And then you get 20%. So may natitira ka pang 800,000. And then time goes by, nag-age 65 ka, then hindi ka na nagkaroon ng critical illness. Dahil alive pa yung contract mo with the remaining consumable of 800,000, you will get the endowment of 50,000 pesos per year starting age 65 till for the next 8 years. Okay.
Yun, clear. Thank you sa specific na sagot, no, Joshua. Meron pa ako ditong isang tanong ulit from my client. Sabi niya, yung Sun Life Assure ba after 70, say for example, no, nag-cover ako, term insurance to di ba? So tinapos ko until age 70, assure lang kinuha ko. After 70 ba, may na-expect akong return kung hindi ako nagka-critical illness?
Wala. Direct to the point, wala. Kasi it's a contract na standalone contract na for critical illness. And if in case na wala kang critical illness, then you need to say thank you to Lord. Kasi at age 70, hindi ka nagkasakit. Ayun.
Yun, okay. Clear, thank you.
Pag-assure.
Yeah, pag-assure. Yun yung kasi yung murang plan.
Yes.
Kapag healthy ka naman kasi, I would suggest kasi kung kaya mo naman yung health plan na may cashback, go for it. Kasi it's something na parang retirement fund din.
Pero it all boils down.
May isa tayong question ngayon sa chat box.
Okay, please, Pat.
Halimbawa, clarify ko lang po if nakukuha ka ng minor critical illness, let's say, dun sa Sunfit and Well, tapos nga 10 years to pay,
yes.
At 5th year, nakakuha na ako ng 20% minor illness, continue pa din ba yung pagbayad sa premium kung naubos na yung kapag ganun, continue pa din yung pagbayad sa premium kung naubos na yung face value? Sige, ulitin ko dito. So, dalawang scenario. What if major critical illness, 10 years to pay, nasa 5th year, nagka-major critical illness na ako for 1 million yung plan ko, tuloy-tuloy pa ba yung pagbayad ko ng premium?
Hindi na. Kasi 'di ba, tulad ng sinabi ko, once na ma-consume mo na lahat, masisis na yung contract. So if hindi ka pa tapos magbayad pero na-consume mo na yung 100% ng benefit mo, then that's it. Beneficiary sa sayo kasi you don't need to pay anymore. You only pay for 5 years pero you were able to consume the whole benefit of Sunfit. So that's okay. Pero yun nga lang, side note doon, nagkasakit ka.
Okay. Ito pa akong question, private question. So halimbawa daw, ang face value ng policy daw ay 1 million, pero ang na-consume ko lang sa hospital ay 600,000. Makukuha ko po ba yung 1 million o 600,000 lang?
Okay. This is in an assumption na nagkaroon ka ng critical illness, no? Major critical illness. If you get a major critical illness, regardless kung magkano yung hospital bills mo, ibibigay ni Sun Life yung buong 1 million sa'yo in check.
Ganun. So, 600,000 yung hospital bill ko. Tapos, let's say, kinover yun ng HMO tsaka ng PhilHealth. Pero, yes, insured ako kay Sun Life ng 1 million. Ibig sabihin, nakukuha ko pa rin yung 1 million. So, may parang excess money pa ako ng mga around 400,000. Ganun.
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yan. Meron pa ulit. May question pa. Hi, question. Kapag nagkaroon ng minor critical illness, di ba may makukuha na 20%? Then magkakaroon ka ng major critical illness. Yung remaining na lang ba ang makukuha mo? Or the original face amount?
in-answer na ni UMT na yung remaining na lang. Kasi remember, when I set up the 1 million face amount, I said that's consumable. So if you consume 20% in the first place, so magkakaroon ka na lang ng 80%. Yung 80% na lang na yun yung natitirang consumable mo for the next critical illness that might arise.
Alright.
Ayan.
Good. Galing Malinaw.
Maganda talaga yung nagtatanong, partner. Kasi ibig sabihin, na-absorb mo yung knowledge and talagang nag-iisip ka. You're thinking critically kung paano ba yun mag-a-apply sa situation mo at sa future situation.
And then sa lahat din ng
Yes.
lahat ng webinar natin, ito yung most active sa pagtatanong, in fairness.
Yes.
Yun na. Kasi very, ang ganda ng discussion. Tsaka, ayun kasi talaga yung reality.
And
Kaya,
timely, dahil pandemic.
yes, timely. So, ayan, guys, magtanong pa kayo. Pwede ring live question, mas maganda. Unmute nyo yung sarili nyo.
Check yung FB Live, baka meron.
Alright, I'll check it. Si Ate Jillian, nandiyan ka pa? Nagtaturo na no? Ate Jill, may questions ka ba? Wala. I think, ayan, nag-chat siya. No question naman. Hehe. Alright. Nahiya si Ate Jill.
Ayan. Ay, reminders nga lang pala dun sa 6 na nanalo natin sa games kanina for your ebook, no? Joven, Shenaline, Maan Tubig, Christian Darwin, Eileen, and Jillian. So, contact nyo na lang yung mga financial advisor na nag-invite sa inyo sa webinar nito para kung paano nyo makaklaim yung price niya, ha?
Alright. Thank you, Josh. Last question, no? Meron pa dito. Since pandemic ngayon, no? Ito ba mga plan na diniscuss natin? Ano yung coverage niya in terms of COVID? Ano yung pwede ko makuha kung may Sun Fit and Well ako tapos nagka-COVID ako?
Okay. So, COVID is not part of the critical illness na nakalist sa namin, sa mga products namin kasi bago lang to. Yun, one reason bago lang to. Pero in most cases, COVID kasi siya yung nagtitrigger to open up another critical illness. In most cases, especially pneumonia. Now, if you have COVID and then during the COVID time, nagkaroon ka bigla ng another critical illness, which is most likely the case, kasi gano'n naman talaga yung mga naririnig namin sa mga news. Then, doon ma-trigger yung coverage mo for the Sun Fit and Well. And Life Assure.
Tapos, next add ko lang, yung mga hospital income benefit, like for example, kung may plan kayo tapos naglagay ng attachment ng hospital income benefit, yun yung makaka-cover ng initial cost ng treatment for COVID-19 natin. But yun nga, as mentioned by Joshua, COVID actually is not a critical illness. But eventually, di ba, yun yung mga natutubuhan, yung mga medyo nagiging malala, then it will boils down to the definition of the critical illness, and therefore pwedeng mabigay yung critical illness benefit. But if you're looking for a specific product na intended or designed for COVID-19, we have one that is called Sun First Aid. So yung Sun First Aid natin, it's para siyang hospital income benefit na standalone na plan. So, ang example niya is, ito, mag-share ako ng screen, pero it's intended for one client. So, if you can see yan, Sun First Aid Plus is 16,875 per annum. But the benefit covers hospitalization, benefits. Tapos, ang maganda dyan, may return of premium yan. So, every time na magkakaroon ka ng hospitalization, 2,500 per day. ICU is 2,500 also, and other long-term hospital income benefit na mag-a-arise is 2,500 also. So, kapag meron ka dito, everyday na mako-hospitalize ka, you get to receive yung 2,500 pesos na coverage for as low as 16,875 per annum for the next 10 years. Tapos, at the end of the term, pag hindi ka nagkasakit, you get to get your money back either at 50% or at 75%. So, for the other products na na-discuss kanina, yun nga, hindi siya intended for COVID alone. So, intended siya mostly for terminal illnesses and critical illnesses na mahal yung gastos.
Alright. Thank you sa clarification, no, UMT na. So, yun din pala yung pwedeng first line of defense mo, no? Yung mga hospital income benefit. Alright. And definitely yung life insurance, no? If yun talaga yung naging cause ng death. Yun yung last line of
Partner, last
defense.
question.
Alright, go ahead.
Paano daw if nag-avail ng health plan pero hindi naman nagkasakit tapos namatay?
Ayan. Kaya ko itong sagutin pero bigay natin sa mga speakers.
Sige, ako na yung sasagot nun. So guys, diba sabi ko kanina nung nag-discuss ako, it's not a question kung magkakasakit ka or hindi. Statistic will dictate, most likely you'll be having a critical illness. But let's just say na hindi ka nga nagkaroon ng critical illness. So we'll give that benefit of the doubt. If fit and well yung kinuha mo, walang problema. Because for fit and well, you buy the asset as it is. So kumbaga para kang bumili ng property. So yung 1 million coverage mo, sa'yo na yun. Kasi binili mo yung 1 million na yun. Ibig sabihin, kahit magkasakit ka, or hindi ka magkasakit, makukuha at makukuha mo yung 1M. Through what? Either through endowment at age 65, pwede mo siyang may advance, or kapag sobrang strong ka at age 100, buhay ka pa, bibigay na sa'yo yung 1 million. Or kapag ka nauna yung debt, ibibigay sa beneficiary mo yung 1M. So for fit and well, that's the reason why yun yung favorite plan ko and favorite product ko na ino-offer sa client, because it's like buying the assets itself. Walang wasted money kasi if I'm going to buy it on an installment basis, technically they guaranteeing me that the 1 million coverage or the 2 million coverage will be mine forever. Now, if you got the other plan, which is yung temporary solution, pero okay na rin kaysa wala, which is yung sana sure, kapag hindi ka nagkasakit, di wala na siya. Para siyang HMO, pag hindi mo nagamit, during the intended period it was purchased, or intended period na binayaran mo siya, pag di mo siya nagamit, wala na siya. Kumbaga, dahil pinover kita for a specific time, kung wala yung risk na yon, kumbaga sa pustahan, natalo yung bet mo. Pero kahit natalo yung bet mo, hindi ka nagkasakit. So, parang panalo ka pa din. Parang gano'n. So, yun.
Thank you, Miss Tina.
Ayun, thank you, Miss Tina. No? Tapos add ko lang, no? Totoo yun eh. It is not a question kung magkakasakit ka o hindi. Sa amin naman mga engineers, ang idea niyan, parang safety first, di ba? Kunyari, yung hard hat. Ano yun eh, additional peace of mind mo yun eh. Regardless kung magkakaroon ba ng aksidente sa site or wala, mas maganda palagi na suot mo yung hard hat mo. Same with our, etong dinidiscuss natin ngayon. It's not a question kung tatamaan ka or hindi. Pero yung peace of mind na ipoprovide sa'yo, kasi alam mong meron ka eh, may enough fund ka para labanan kung ano man yung darating na critical illness. So, ganun ang thinking naman pag sa engineers, no? Factor of safety, etc. So, I guess okay na lahat ng questions, partner.
Oo, ang bibo ng audience,
Yes, kasi sobrang interesting.
Tsaka talagang concern ngayon eh. Concern ito ngayon. What if?
Yes.
That's what if, yes.
So, ayun, in behalf of the whole team, thank you so much po sa lahat ng umattend tonight, no? And nag-spare ng 2 hours nila para malaman tong mga to. And definitely thank you din sa ating buong team na talagang nag-exert ng extra effort para mangyari tong webinar. And this is part 3 na. Excited na ako sa part 4 kung meron pa. Charot. So yun siya. And to formally close this webinar, let's have our closing prayer na to be led by Miss Missy Ballesteros.
Let us bow our head and put ourselves in the presence of the Lord. Our Heavenly Father, maraming salamat po sa opportunity na to na nagkaroon po ng webinar about health. Salamat po sa lahat po ng mga participants po na dumalo at salamat din po sa lahat po ng speakers na nagbibigay inspiration po sa amin. Maraming salamat din po Ama sa information na to para panlaban po sa mga future, makatulong po ito sa future namin. Nihiling po namin naman na basabasan niyo po ang bawat pamilya sa amin. Pambawat pamilya po namin at bawat individual na dumalo ngayon at sa kanilang mga pamilya, i-bless niyo po kami lahat na hindi po kami magkakasakit. At magkaroon din po kami ng bawat isa na insurance upang maging safe po yung future namin. At i-bless niyo rin po lahat ng speakers at lahat ng mga tao sa mundo na i-guide niyo po kami at gabayan sa aming lahat ng aming ginagawa. Ikaw po ang bahala sa amin, Ama, at iiwan po namin ito sa pangalan ni Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Picture naman
Amen.
tayo.
Ay, oo nga,
Picture
picture
tayo,
pala.
picture.
Hindi ko na makalimutan.
Pwedeng mag-open ng cam.
Ayan, sa mga participants, open naman kayo.
Yung mga
ng-
nakaligo na, pwede kayo
Oo.
mag-open ng cam. Ako
Kasi
actually, hindi ako
susuot ko yung
naligo
suit
eh.
ko.
Nagsuit lang ako.
Minute kasi.
Charot. Hindi
Tara,
halata.
magsuot ulit tayo. Ayan.
So,
Ayan.
yun.
Uy, kuya, mag-open ka
Alright.
ng please,
Oo,
para
mag-open naman
makasama
kayo.
sa
Huwag kayo
picture.
mahiya. Ayun. Ikaw na mag-picture, no, Ate Seti.
Sige. Okay.
Sige, okay lang yan.
Open
2,
cam, everyone.
3, smile. May
Yan.
May umahabol.
Smile lang kayo, ah. Thank you sa lahat ng pumunta, lalo na sa mga in-invite ko. Hopefully, naging blessing tong webinar. Ayun, si Joven. Nice. Engineer Joven Bersabe. We have
May mga nag-open pa.
Sorry, isa pa.
mga engineer yung kasama natin dito eh. Ito, si Engineer Maan Tubig, Engineer Joven Bersabe.
Hi, ma'am. Ayun sila.
Nagsisipaglabasan ba sila?
Oo.
Ayun, si Engineer Nick Anvilla Sante sa Japan pa yan.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my friend since high school. And si Engineer Espada. Ay, ikaw pala yan, Sir Sword. Alright.
Sige, smile ah. 1, 2, 3,
Smile.
smile. Ayan, thank you
Si
so
Sir
much.
Sword pala yun, Sinners. Alright, thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Good
Bye-bye.
job, team. Galing natin talaga.